umaga mga kasambahay! I'm Dr. Sara Barba Cabudil and this is your every Sunday health habit companion, Dr. Zon TV. Mga kasambahay, meron ba kayong kakilalang tila malala na ang pagiging malilimutin? Occasional forgetfulness may come with aging, pero kapag matindi na ang memory loss, to the extent na lubhang apektado na ang araw-araw na pamumuhay at hindi na po kayang matandaan ang nakagawi ang routines, hindi na po normal yan. Posibleng ito ay dahil sa Alzheimer's disease. Pero ang pagiging malilimutin lang nga ba ang sintomas nito? Ngayong umaga po ay mas palalawakin namin ang inyong kaalaman tungkol sa Alzheimer's. Paano nga ba natin mapoprotekta ng ating utak laban sa sakit na ito? O handa ba tayo kung sakaling tamaan ng Alzheimer's ang ating mga mahal sa buhay? Stay tuned mga kasambahay dahil iisa-isahin natin yan dito sa Dr. Zon TV. And before we talk more about this condition that affects thinking and daily life, here's our dose of information.
Alam niyo pa, mga kasangbahay, na tinatayang nasa 24 na milyong tao sa buong mundo ang apektado ng Alzheimer's disease. Isa sa 10 individual na may edad na mahigit 65 taong gulang ang naitalang mayroon nito. At halos isa sa 3 individual naman na may gulang na mahigit 85 taong gulang ang nagtataglay ng karamdamang ito. Ang Alzheimer's disease ay nadiskubre ng German psychologist at neuropathologist na si Dr. Alois Alzheimer noong 1906. Isang 51 taong gulang na babaeng pasyente na nagngangalang August Detter ang kanyang sinuri at natuklasan sa utak nito ang senile plaques at neurofibrillary tangles. Ang dalawang neurological substances na ito ang kinikilalang unique markers ng Alzheimer's disease.
Mga kasambahay, naku, normal lang po na malimutan natin yung mga maliliit na bagay from time to time. Kagaya ng kung saan natin nailapag ang cellphone o kaya yung susi natin. Pero naku, kapag madalas na, ng padalas at patindi ng patindi ang memory loss, it could be Alzheimer's disease. Naku, may magagawa pa ba tayo kapag tayo ay nagkaroon ng sakit na ito o ang ating mga mahal sa buhay? So to help us understand Alzheimer's disease and brain health better, joining us today is Dr. Perry Noble, a neurologist from Makati Medical Center. Welcome back to Dr. Zon TV, Doc Perry.
Thank you. I'm always glad to be here.
It's always joy having you here, Doc Perry. Ayan. Okay, so ito, let's get started, Doc. What is Alzheimer's disease and how does it affect the brain?
Okay, so nowadays we tend to define objects or even diseases very well because with good descriptors, no? So I will do it with Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer's disease, so it is a disease, no? And it is a form of dementia, and I'll go to what is dementia later on, which is characterized by a progressive deterioration, no? Nagde-deteriorate, no? Ng unti-unti na pagrabi of the brain, no? And it will clinically present with cognitive and personality changes. And sometimes later on with, it may interfere with activities of daily living.
Okay, sabi niyo yung salitang cognitive, Doc, pa-explain natin sa mga
Cognitive,
viewers.
yung cognitive, kasi ang utak natin, at ginawa nilikha tayo ng Diyos na may utak, ang kanyang primary na isa sa kanyang halagang gawain ay pag-iisip, no? Bukod sa pag-iisip, no, siyempre maraming other functions connected with it. Meaning, for example, ang pag-intindi, ang pagsasalita, no, ang pag-aalala, tapos ang pagpaplano, ang yung we call it insight, pagkakaalam na may problema or what. And of course, kung ano yung mga dapat natin gawin araw-araw. So all of these are functions of the brain. Even pag-compute, pagkata, everything
Yun.
resides in the brain. So these
Okay.
are all cognitive functions.
So yan isa po sa affected daw mga kasangbay according to Doc Perry. And you mentioned also about yung affected yung daily habits. Ano yung example nitong mga pangkaraniwang gawain ng isang individual araw-araw na naaapektuhan pag may Alzheimer's?
Okay, kaya naiiba ang Alzheimer's sa pagkalimot lang sa pagtanda or even kahit bata tayo kasi naapektuhan na yung activities of daily living. What I mean with that is hindi na makapagplano ng dapat gawin. Minsan nalilito siya kung araw o gabi. Tapos even yung paggrabe na, no? Yung pag-ayos ng sarili niya. Tapos yung kanyang pagpunta sa banyo, no? Kailangan tulungan pa. Yung early on, also even how to manage yung simple finances, no? Hindi niya na magawa. So these are all activities of daily living which we try to see whether if it is affected or not. Because if it is so, on top of the memory loss, that is definitely Alzheimer's. Pero kung halimbawa nakakalimot ang isang tao na hindi naman apektado ito, maaaring talagang sa dala lang ng pagkalimot. No?
Oh, okay. So, good that you mentioned that, Doc. So, how is Alzheimer's different naman from dun sa normal forgetfulness experienced by aging
Okay,
people?
let me say, no, it's not because we forget, ay nako, meron na tayong Alzheimer's. But of course, most of our patients would come to us worried that they will have Alzheimer's. Ang kaibahan niyan sa normal, I will say, just forgetfulness is the fact na kahit papano, naaalala mo later on. Okay? So, lalo na kung may cues, okay. O
Problema kung hindi mo na hinahanap, tsaka naman nagpapakita.
Oo, minsan ganun, mga tipo. At saka alam mong nakalimutan mo.
Ah, okay. Kasi alam mo siya, aware ka.
Ang problema pag nakalimutan mo, tapos nire-refuse mo to think, may nagsabi na sa yung mga kasama mo, nakalimutan mo. Hindi. Yan ang medyo problema na. Okay? Tapos, again, I have to stress the point, bukod sa memory loss, walang kasamang mga personality, hindi nag-iba ang behavior, at saka yung mga ginagawang pang-araw-araw. Yun ang tinatawag nating age-related forgetfulness.
Oh, okay. So nakita natin yung difference here. Pero, Doc, sino ba yung mga individuals who are the people with the highest risk of having Alzheimer's
Okay.
disease?
We cannot go away with age. Everyone ages, no? So, number one risk factor is age. It affects patients, individuals who are generally 65 or older. Okay? The older you are, the more you are the likelihood to have Alzheimer's. But let me correct that even younger individuals may have Alzheimer's, 40s, 50s, and even 30s. Okay? And then, of course, family history. Kung may history kayo sa pamilya na merong Alzheimer's, the likelihood is increased, no? Tapos, lifestyle. Kung ikaw ay hindi nag-exercise, tapos wala kang tinatawag nating social engagement, no? Kaya kahit pa paano maayos itong social media. Dapat salimuha ka sa mga kaibigan mo.
Asa problema naman, puro marites din minsan, di ba?
Yun na nga. Pero the fact is, dapat and then stimulate your mind. Cognitive stimulation. Meaning, manood ka ng TV, you read.
Makinig ng mga news.
Makinig ng music na gusto mo. No? But it doesn't stop there. Whenever you do something, try to remember what you did. No? Ang kalimitan sinasabi ko, lalo na pag pumupunta ka sa probinsya, anyway, nanonood naman ng TV. Sinasabi ko, ma'am, sir, hindi enough yon. Dapat tanungin niyo siya, may napanood, ano ba yung pinanood?
So kung sa mga lolo-lola, makakatulong ba yung mag-tutor sila ng mga apo?
Yes, of
O ayan, di ba matutuwa nga yung mga
At
nanay-tatay?
isa pang
mababawas.
palagi kong ini-stress is really involvement in doing cognitive exercises.
Paano
Meaning,
yan, Doc?
like games, puzzles.
Pero pwede yung mga Scrabble, chess,
yes, of course.
dama.
It will help stimulate. Lalo ngayon, your iPad, your cell phone is loaded with a lot of games. Do it, no? Okay.
That would really
That
help.
would really help. Another thing is, of course, physical exercise. Talagang kailangan, you have to help our brain will always rely on good supply of oxygen. So one way of doing it is really regular
Physical
exercise.
activity,
Oo.
no? Regular, dapat consistent.
And for people who, of course, are stressed, I have to say it, you and I don't think anyone is devoid of that. But it's a prime mover in our lives. But if it is overwhelming, nakakasama sa atin ito. Okay? Tapos, syempre, ayokong araw-araw natin ginagawa, pagkain, wastong pagkain ang importante. The same things that may cause stroke are the same things that may predispose someone to have Alzheimer's. Like, of course, alam nyo na, pagkain ng mataba, ng maalat,
Mamantika,
masyadong
ganyan.
matamis, yung madali lang kainin, kaya nga
Parang
tinatawag
masarap
nating
yung sinasabi mo, Dok, eh.
yun na nga. Saka yung mga processed foods,
Yeah.
as much as
So
possible.
basically, healthy diet,
A healthy diet. And not only that, of course, vices, no? Alam natin, ang pagyoyosi, no? Ang pag-iinom ng alak. Kaya we always have to go back to that adage, always live everything in moderation.
Oh, okay. So, pero Doc, ito, no, maganda yung mga binigay mong inputs, very generous, no? So, basically, at least may idea yung mga viewers natin. Kanina na-mention nyo, usually, based on stats, 65 and above. Pero sa dami ng napakarami mong pasyente, Doc, eh. Pero ano yung youngest patient na nakita mo na may Alzheimer's?
Okay, 40 meron, no? But it has been reported even 30s. Bakit? Kasi medyo merong problema na to start with. You see them in people who have a family history, no? And number 2, yung may mga Down syndrome, no? Yung may mga delayed development, mental development. Yes. But of course, it's more common still among elderly individuals, 65 or greater.
Okay. So, these individuals, ano yung mga nakitang early warning signs na, ito, mukhang mga senyales to na baka may
Okay.
nag-uumpisang Alzheimer's?
Usually, the early sign is definitely cognitive and in form of memory. And anong type ng memory, no? Kasi iba-ibang klaseng memory. It's what we call short-term memory. Yung, for example, kausap ko lang ikaw, mamaya sabihin mo, ano ba yung tinanong ko sa'yo, ano yung sinabi mo. Tapos, in fact, hindi lang yung isang beses, minsan paulit-ulit niyang tatanungin, kahit ilang beses mo nasabi na sa kanya, nasabi ko na ulitin mo. So, short-term memory, no? It's something that even yung halimbawa, na may nilagay siyang bagay, tapos kahit sabihin mo, nilagay mo doon sa i-remind mo, nakakalimutan niya agad, no? Yung tinatawag natin fast decay sa brain mo. Yun ang first usually signs, no? But usually most of us do not bring our relatives, our loved ones to just that kasi sasabihin mo, ay matanda na yan.
Oo nga, pero Doc, paano madidiscern kung yung parang ganong yung short-term memory loss is different from dun sa mga, yung regular na nag-age lang?
Kaya nga, I already mentioned
Yeah.
at the onset that definitely if other cognitive functions are affected, meaning, for example, medyo minsan napansin mo mga comment niya hindi tama.
Hindi akma.
Oo, hindi akma. Tapos pangalawa, yung palaging nasa conversation nyo, hindi siya makakontribute kasi hindi niya masabi ang gusto niya sabihin. O kaya, hindi niya rin naiintindihan yung pinag-uusapan. Yun ang mga... So, other things are affected. Judgment. For example, biglang tatawa siya na hindi naman katawa-tawa yung pinag-uusapan. No? So, there are other functions that are affected. And for example, halimbawa, dati siyang ininyero, pero hindi na siya makakalculate, hindi niya, ilan nga yun? No?
Kumbaga kung ano yung norm niya for the longest time, hindi na niya magawa.
So, may other functions siya na hindi affected. And again, the third, which is always important that I always state it affects his daily functioning. Kasi minsan meron tayong nakakalimutin, pero hindi naman apektado yung trabaho mo o kayang ginagawa mo araw-araw. Sometimes pinapalipas natin kasi maalala ko rin naman yan. No? You go ahead with what you're doing. But the moment naiiba yung daily functioning mo, then more or less, the possibility of Alzheimer's
Dok,
is there.
sinabi niyo yung sa daily functioning, yung mga simpleng pagdumi, pag-ihi,
Ay,
affected ba yan
Of course,
sa Alzheimer's?
especially not in the early stage, during the later stage, no, even to the point that kailangan the family. That's why I always say the family is very important in terms of managing a patient with Alzheimer's. Why? Because in terms of helping the patient be guided in his daily activities like eating. Minsan hindi na nila alam, kumain na ako, ganyan. Pagpunta sa banyo, pagliligo, no, all of those patients, later on they will be really affected, unfortunately, and this is the sad thing about it.
Kalungkot nga kasi syempre, kumbaga parang kailangan na talaga nila ng kaagapay dahil
Yes,
hindi na nila
yes.
kaya on their own. Dok, how about yung ano nila, yung personality changes? Meron ba
Ay,
ganun?
very common. Actually, in my patients, maybe, well, almost all are attended with personality changes, pero iba-ibang klase. Siyempre, alam mo yung dating personalidad niya, no? Outgoing and everything. Pero nag-iba. Ayaw niya nang lumabas. Ayaw niya nang gawin yung mga dati niyang mga hobbies. Yun, nag-withdraw. Tapos pag may, Tay, Lolo, may bisita kayo. Ayaw na lumabas. Baliktad naman. Minsan may mga pasyente ko, agresibo, no? Masyadong animated, no? Sobrang daldal na hindi mo maintindihan. Hindi naman siya dati ganun. And syempre, ang ayaw natin mangyari, minsan magiging verbally, and I have lots of patients becoming physically abusive. What do I mean? Yung, alam mo, ng PI, o kaya, o, hindi lang yan, may isang pasyente, may katabi siya palaging yantok, no? Paglalabi.
Yan, Dok, pampalo?
Oo, pampalo.
Scary yun, Dok.
Oo, so they may have those kinds of behavior. So, minsan yung iba makikita mo, emotional ability. No, ibig sabihin, minsan mabait, minsan salbahe, minsan pag katapatan doktor, o mabait, pero doktor sa amin, ako, wala. Kung pwede lang, piringan namin yung tenga namin kasi talagang dapat sagana kami na sa PI.
At saka, pero siguro dapat sana sagana din sa pag-unawa at pagmamahal ang pamilya.
Since you mentioned, very important. One trait the caregiver and the family should have is really patience. Patience. And I always tell, no, halimbawa kung may sinabi ganyan, huwag mo sasabihin, kasasabi mo lang yan, pagagagalitan mo. Walang mangyayari yan. Kahit yung sinabi mong yun, kakalimutan nilang pinagalitan mo.
Ulitin.
So dahil pasyensya, no, and everything. And the other thing that I always say, it's a cardinal rule in facing patients with Alzheimer's is never argue with them. No, it's useless. But develop the art of diversifying. Ibig sabihin, halimbawa pinag-uusapan niya, meron silang papasok na kinagagalit niya. Sabi mo, isipin mo agad, ano bang gusto niya? Ay, Nay, nakita mo yung palabas na ganyan. So, that will help them in a way, no? Okay, so that is, those are the things that are very important in managing. So when I see patients with Alzheimer's, I tell the relatives and the caregiver, these are the things that you must do. Okay?
I see.
And of course, udyukin mo silang gawin yung kanilang daily activities, no? Kasi minsan sila mismo hahanap-hanapin nila yung dapat nilang gawin araw-araw, mag-exercise, makinig sa radio or sa music, manood ng TV.
Saka para stimulatory pa rin sa brain nila.
Yes,
Mas
yes.
mabagal, ma-delay yung progression ng sakit.
It all boils down to the adage, alam mo, if you don't use it, it will rot.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? So, dapat gamitin natin.
Yeah. Pero Doc, okay, so upon them coming to your clinic, okay, so identified nyo na ito Alzheimer's.
Oh, yes, of course. Siyempre, we have to document. No? We
Okay.
have to find out. There are many tests to determine that. May tayong simple test to find out whether the patient is a candidate of having Alzheimer's. And if you suspect so, the next step would be is to, of course, image the brain para makita mo kung talagang merong sign suggestive.
Anong mga test to, Doc? Para to
yung-
confirm that it is really Alzheimer's.
Okay. Now, in terms of psychologic test, yung ibang simple na mini-mental state exam, MoCA, Montreal Cognitive Assessment, makikita ko mababa ang score nila, no, compared to the average. Sa imaging, no, syempre MRI, para makita natin kung nanliliit na talaga yung brain niya.
Brain atrophy
Oo,
ba
brain
yan?
atrophy. Those are the things that will help confirm clinically kung may Alzheimer's. Kasi ang kagandahan, quote-unquote, in a way with Alzheimer's, you don't need to biopsy para makita yung ano. Clinically, malaki ang correlation. Pag nakita mo ang pasyente, most likely may Alzheimer's siya sa presentation niya. And before I forget, also try to always see what are the risk factors in that patient. So, make sure your blood pressure, yung diabetes niya well controlled, ang isang mimicker, yung thyroid, yung mga hypothyroid,
Yeah.
no? Tapos yung mga vitamin B assays nila. Those are the things that are very important. And of course, for those alcoholics, kung talagang grabe sila uminom and everything, because it's a neurotoxin.
I see. And Doc, I mean, dito sa Alzheimer's, why is early diagnosis very important? I mean, sa lahat naman ng sakit, but here, in this case, why?
Okay.
Why is it so?
Now, to answer that, I have to say something that is somehow nakaka ng loob is the fact that Alzheimer's cannot be cured, no? But what we can do is help control its retardation, yung pagbagal Ibig sabihin kung halimbawa ito against a graph, yung slope mo ganyan, ganito lang siya. So, ang Alzheimer's pwedeng makontrol kahit papaano, no? So yung sinabi ko sa yung mga stimulatory exercises, planning of the patient, careful engagement with the patient, and let him engage with the surroundings. Those are things that may help. And makikita mo, marami yung pasyente na kahit papano, kumpara doon sa mga wala tayong nagawa or ginawa late na, makikita mo they are still manageable and somehow, kahit papano, fruitful pa rin yung kanilang pagpamumuhay kahit papano.
I see. Pero meron bang mga medications just to slow down the progression
Yes, definitely.
of Alzheimer's? What are these, Doc?
In the market, sa atin, ang meron dito yung tinatawag natin anticholinesterase products na nakakatulong. By the way, hindi ko nabanggit, sa Alzheimer's, nawawala yung tinatawag nating acetylcholine. Isang sangkap ng ating brain na utak na tumutulong sa ibang cognitive functions na nabanggit ko, pag-iisip, pagsasalita, pag-compute, no, pag-unawa, and all of these things. Nawawala, bumababa ito. So that's why these medicines will help somehow preserve acetylcholine. And the other one is yung memantine, which is also available in our market. Now, ngayon, maraming dumarating na tinatawag na monoclonal antibodies, which is not yet available here, no? Sa states available, and they plan to bring it here. Ang problema lang is, of course, it costs an arm and a leg and another of your arm. Siyempre, bilang doktor ng pasyente, iisipin mo, am I really helping the family? Am I really helping the patient? Kahit papano, natututo mo, maaaring ang mag-iba yung takbo ng sakit ng pasyente. Pero yung pamilya, nagkakautang-utang na dahil dito. Okay? So, sa akin, mahalaga pa rin yung talagang, if ever you do the planning of management, andiyan dapat yung relatives and of course, the caregiver. No?
So basically, Doc, kita ko itong sa Alzheimer's, hindi lang yung kondisyon ng pasyente ang dalahin natin dito. Ito yung sitwasyon ng buong pamilya. Parang ang hirap, parang lahat apektado talaga, di ba? I mean, gano'n naman sa ibang sakit, pero dito kasi, apart from yung financial burden, basically yung iniintindi ng bawat pamilya, yung magulang, yung kung sino man ang may Alzheimer's. Hindi ba?
Alam mo, talagang ang isang problema pa dyan, halimbawa, may magulang ka, tapos patay na yung asawa, tapos 2 o 3 lang kayong anak, tapos sino mag-aalaga, and you have families on your own. Kasi dapat talagang may kasama yung pasyenteng Yan ang isang advice ko. I know it's hard, but you really have to invest on someone dito lahat sa Pilipinas, madali lang. Siguro kahit papaano may far relative kang or, na maaaring mag-alala.
Pero ang hirap yun. Siguro 1 week, a few days. Pero yung parang for long,
Ayan ang problema. Yan tinatawag natin. Sometimes we'll have caregiver burden. No? That's why you really need to talk over to the family very well what may lie in the future. No?
So, dapat anticipated
Mo talaga ang pwedeng mangyari. Kasi sa simula, parang hindi masyadong apektado. Pero later on, pag may behavioral problems na, pag merong yung activities of daily living, wala. Hindi pwede talagang may isang maghihirap.
Saka, Dok, nakarinig ka pa rin ng mga stories na yung ibang mga Alzheimer's patient, nawawala sila. Minsan lalabas
Ay,
ng
totoo
gate, sasakay
yun.
ng jeep.
Of
Tapos
course.
nawawala ng ilang linggo.
Nangyari na sa akin yan. Hindi lang
Hindi
isa.
naman kayo nawala, Dok?
Hindi ako ang
Ay,
nawala.
akala.
Tumulong akong
Pasyente,
makita
no?
yung pasyente
Okay.
sa tulong ng ibang mga kaibigan ko
Kamag-anak,
sa media. No? So, yes, of course. Kasi part of our thinking is orientation. Orientation to time, place, and person. So, minsan, hindi na nila alam kung saan sila. No? Everything, sasakay lang na sasakay na without everything. And of course, that happens. And that's why, that's part of the responsibility of the family to make sure about the safety hazards that an Alzheimer patient may undergo. Meaning, syempre, minsan, hindi na maganda yung paglakad niya, lahat ng may railings, tapos kung pwede man, sa gabi, talagang kandaduhin nyo yung talagang main gate nyo.
Ay,
Kasi may
oo.
may tendency lumabas, no? Tapos hindi nyo na
Saka,
saan pumunta.
Dok, yung mga parang gasol nila, yung mga paglulutuan.
Ayan, that is something I'm really scared, no. In some of my patients, those who love cooking, no, I tell them, ma'am, alam mo, isang maaring mangyari yan, makalimutan niya yung pagluluto niya. Hindi lang yan, yung mga niluluto niya, hindi na tama, hindi na wasto, no. So, even gusto nila, well, the most is guide them, someone be at the side when they do it, but as much as possible, don't.
Yeah, and so basically, Doc, ito yung mga tips nyo para sa mga pamilya na nag-aalaga para dun sa mga kaanak nilang may Alzheimer's. Okay. And, pero Doc, ano kaya yung kasi siguro baka kaya na, di ba sabi natin, talagang given na to, may mga non-modifiable risk factor para talagang bound magkaroon ng Alzheimer's to. Pero, ano yung mga habits, okay, that we can share to our viewers para
Sure.
ma-maintain yung healthy brain, no, as we age?
In a way, I mentioned all of them already. Okay, number one is, of course, lifestyle. No smoking, no drinking, good eating habits, and then, of course, regular exercise, good sleep, amount of sleep, more hobbies, more engagement with people, no? And then, of course,
Avoid stress,
stimulate yourself, no, with the games, no? Kung halimbawa, hindi naman kailangan ganun ka-complex, kahit sungka. So, it helps stimulate
Gumagana.
ang daming ginaganang parte ng ating utak. So, those are the things that are very important. And of course, let them also engage into, I always say, listening to music, no?
Oh, yeah, music
that
is
will help,
therapeutic.
therapeutic. And maybe challenge them, no? Alam nyo, maganda, I always ask my patients, no, as relatives, no, yung simple 3-picture test. Kuha ka ng 3 pictures in the past, no, hindi magkadikit-dikit. Pakita mo, Nay, Tay, saan ito? Ganyan. Sino mga kasama nyo rito? Tas, kailan kaya ito kinuha? No?
Paano pag ang sagot? Iwalay ko.
Hindi, kaya you guide them
Doon mo
also.
siya,
Oo.
okay, para i-guide mo siya para hanggang itry niya
Oo.
i-recall.
Tapos, the thing is, ang importante rin, why were you there? Were you celebrating anything, no? Para maalala niya. Kasi remember, things that enliven our pleasure helps us remember more.
Pero sanang papakita natin picture yung mga good memories.
Oo, siyempre. Huwag
Baka
naman yung
mama yung parang nalungkot
namatay
siya
si
doon.
namatay si wag
Oo,
na
lalo na
ganyan.
siyang-
Tapos, the other thing that is always very important is how did you feel when you were there at that time? Kasi,
So, dapat
maalala
careful
niyo-
tayo sa mga papaalala natin.
Oo,
ha?
yun.
Yung mga utang, dapat ba papaalala? Wag na.
Ay, yung iba magagaling pa rin. Iba pa sinasabi. But basically, those things will be forgotten also. No?
So, Swerte ng mga inutangan.
Kaya nga yung short-term
swerte
memory,
mamalas.
even long-term memory, apektado rin.
Opo, ayan. Okay. Doc, ito, yung mga medical conditions that you mentioned a while ago, okay, yung mga blood pressure, diabetes, or yung mga heart disease po, yan, paano ba yung nakaka-affect sa brain health?
Definitely. Just to make it simple, no, all of this may affect the blood vessels and certain parts of our body that can somehow impair yung magandang daloy ng dugo sa ating utak, no? So remember, our brain subsists mainly on two things, oxygen and substrate. If you deprive this, what happens? That the brain suffers, no? It may lead to neuronal death and everything. That's why hypertension, disease, kidney disease, heart disease, dyslipidemia, which is quite common nowadays.
Napaka-common yan, yung mga matataas yung cholesterol, di ba?
Yan ang mga mahalaga nating makontrol, no? And syempre, as I
Maraming
mentioned,
tinamaan dito.
mahirap man makontrol talagang yung vices natin. Lalo na kung, kasi minsan, they will start magpipiloso po sa niya. Eh, ang lolo ko, sigarilyo na sigarilyo hanggang 80, wala namang nangyari. Well, at that time, life was maybe that simple. But right now, ang daming interplay of these things that can lead to early deterioration and perhaps onset of Alzheimer's.
Okay. And ako, thank you very much, Doc Perry Noble, for your generous inputs. Pero unang bahagi pa lang po yan, mga kasambahay, ng ating talakayan. Kaya marami pa po tayong dapat kaklaruhin tungkol po sa Alzheimer's disease. Stay tuned dahil magbabalik ang Dr. Zon TV. Welcome back, mga kasambahay! It's time to tackle common myths and misconceptions about Alzheimer's disease and brain health dito po sa Mythbuster. Sasagutin niyo lang, Doc, kung yung bawat statement, whether it's a fact or myth lang po. No? Okay? So, at kung ito ay myth, you may briefly explain why, kung kinakailangan. Are you ready, Doc?
Sure.
Okay, so let's get started. Myth or fact, normal lang sa tumatanda ang pagiging malimutin.
Okay, if you listen, it's not true. It's a myth, no?
It's a myth.
Kasi, syempre, may mga mas bata, 65 or older, most common, but even 50s, 60s, or as I told you, even early as 40, 30 may report na ng Alzheimer's.
Okay, yan. Ito, Doc, myth or fact, kapag matalino ang tao, naku, hindi tinatamaan ng Alzheimer's.
Okay, somehow it's a myth also. It may actually protect you because matalino ka and everything. Somehow nagagamit mo and everything. But there are other factors aside from being matalino. Matalino ka nga, nagsisigarilyo ka, umiinom ka, tapos sige, hang out, everything. So it doesn't protect you from anything. No? So it's a myth. No, you have to also always think of the individual as a whole. No. Okay.
Okay, this is multifactorial.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so myth or fact, kulang lang sa vitamins, naku, kaya nagiging makakalimutin.
Okay. Of course, that is a myth, no? Because definitely, vitamins are helpful in essential and, of course, functioning of our body. But, of course, as I said, as you mentioned a while ago, multifactorial ang Alzheimer's. But, of course, there have been medical conditions which definitely may mimic Alzheimer's because masyado mababa ang levels ng mga essential vitamins sa katawan natin.
Okay, ito po, myth or fact, kapag may history ng Alzheimer's sa pamilya, siguradong magkakaroon ka rin.
Okay. Banggitin ko pa yun. Anyway, kung halimbawa meron man ikaw o ako na may history, of course not. No, you have to remember the fact, it's a predisposition, but it doesn't really mean you will really have it. I want to always say this. You remember the story of Chris Hemsworth? Nagpa-test siya, no? Lumabas na may ApoE, siya. So, in fact, na-depress siya kasi syempre, kahit pa paano, mataas ang predisposition. But of course, his friends encourage him, go back to your movies and everything. It doesn't mean you will have Alzheimer's. Just the same, no? Kung may kapatid yan, it doesn't mean you will have Alzheimer's. No?
Kasi multifactorial.
Multifactorial nga siya.
Yeah. Okay, so ito po, myth or fact, very old people lang ang nagkakaroon ng Alzheimer's disease.
Okay, as I mentioned, no. Of course, even younger patients, of individuals can have Alzheimer's disease. Basta ang mahalaga is the fact na bukod sa pagkakalimot, nagkakaroon na sila ng problema sa ibang functions ng brain natin at naapektuhan na yung kanyang daily living. And of course, on the basis na wala siyang ibang sakit na maaring that will explain why this is happening. For example, meron ka ngang ganyan, pero yung pala grabe ang diabetes, hindi control. So, you have to control these things first.
Okay, yan ha. Tandaan natin sinabi ni Doc. Okay, ito, myth or fact, if you do mental exercises, hindi ka magkaka-Alzheimer's.
Again, it will help, no? Because definitely, ginagamit mo yung utak mo. But of course, as I said, hindi lang naman yan ang ating dapat tingnan. Lifestyle mo, yung ginagamit mo nga pala utak mo, pero stress na stress ka pala, no? So, those things count. So, it may lessen the probability, but still not a definite na hindi ka magkakaroon.
Yes, at saka hindi rin natin alam consistent ka ba, at saka kailan ka ba nag-umpisa niyang
Yes,
practice na yan,
yes,
di ba?
yes.
Okay, so ito, myth or fact, people with Alzheimer's can no longer live meaningful lives.
Okay, I don't want to say so because I think they may be able to live meaningful lives. However, the thing is, it has to be the relatives and the caregiver must have a special role in having the patient live a meaningful life, no? Kaya nga I always say, ang isang virtue na dapat meron tayo, kung meron man tayong kamag-anak na may Alzheimer's, is patience at saka pangunawa. Because definitely, I have seen patients who are somehow, not I may say satisfied, masaya sila, na andiyan dyan ang kanilang mag-anak para tingnan siya and everything. At the same time, kahit papaano, nagagawa nila yung gusto nilang gawin.
Yeah, and siguro, Doc, sa takbo ng usapan natin kanina, ang isang nakita kong magandang takeaway here would be, if we try to look at the brighter side of, having a family member who has been diagnosed with Alzheimer's, is that it can give the family, the whole family, the opportunity to be united. No?
Yes,
Para
definitely.
They can, extend more love, not only for the patient, but among each other, diba, Doc?
I don't want to be a devil's advocate, but yun na nga ang problema. Kung may problema is hindi lahat ay agree so how the patient should be managed. In fact, some of the children or grandchildren take advantage of that fact. And that happens.
Saka narinig natin yung mga stories na nagkakagulo ang mga pamilya.
Kaya-
However, pero siguro isipin na lang natin ang mga magulang natin, yan talaga ang nagtiyaga sa atin, nagbigay ng yun na lang ang tingnan natin, yung pasyente mismo. Ano po? Yan lang. But of course, Doc, eto, nasa Mythbuster, naging sentimental na naman tayo. Alam mo naman, emotional because ito ay sensitibong topic ang Alzheimer's kasi masyadong malaki ang implikasyon sa buong pamilya. No? But here, no, mga kasambahay, Mythbusted na. Naku, Alzheimer's may be a complex condition, but early management can make a significant difference for patients and their families. At tatandaan natin mga kasangbahay, taking care of our brain today can help protect our memories tomorrow. Thank you so much, Dr. Perry, for sharing your valuable insights with us today. Nako, so any more reminders po or message po para sa ating mga viewers?
Well, anyway, as mentioned, of course, Alzheimer's is a very special condition that would require the help of the family in order for the patient to really somehow be stable, no? Hindi siya nagagamot pero kahit papano ay makasama natin siya sa nalalabing mga taon niya na maayos kasama natin. So, merong mga pwedeng gawin. Alam mo, this may be an afterthought. One of the best examples I can have, may isa akong pasyente sa May Kawayan, 12 ang anak niya. Pero alam mo, may malaki silang board, no? Nakasulat lahat ang dapat gawin para yung daily activities. Tapos nagsasalit-salit sila. You know what? Ang tagal ko na siyang pasyente. Okay pa rin siya up to now. So what does that mean? Yung
So
going
more than
back to
the
the virtues,
medicines,
no?
it's basically the love
Yeah, yeah.
na binibigay sa
Patience,
ng
love,
pamilya.
empathy.
Oh yeah, I love that. And Doc, naku, baka may gusto kang batiin or you may want to invite our viewers to visit you here at Makati Medical Center.
Well, anyway, so nabanggit naman natin kanina kung ano ang kung may mga simptomas ang mga inyong minamahal na merong ganito, wag agam-agam na hindi tumingin sa doktor, no? Matiking kayo. Kasi hindi naman porkit meron yan, wala nang kahit papano, quote, I will put it in quote, solusyon. Meron tayong magagawa kahit papano.
Thank you, Doc, ha? And thank you for everything that you do. And ako, I personally thank you for also the help that you extended to our family, no, sa pamangkin ko. Thank you po, Doc. More blessings come your way. And again, thank you so much, Dr. Perry Noble, a very good neurologist here in Makati Medical Center. And for more information about their services, you may visit the Makati Medical Center website at www.makatimed.net.ph. You can also conveniently book an appointment online or reach your 24/7 hotline at 02-8888-8999. So, 58 po yan, 39. Stay connected to world-class healthcare anytime. Or you can visit here at Makati Medical Center, your trusted health partner, located at number 2, Amorsolo Street, Legazpi Village, Makati City. At narinig nyo na ba ang salitang mommy brain? Naku, mga salitang tawag sa pagiging makakalimutin ng mga nanay. Naku, ano nga ba ang nangyayari sa utak ng isang nanay na bagong panganak? At ano ba ang science behind this phenomenon sa brain ng ating mga mommies? Alamin po natin yan dito sa Women's Health.
Magandang araw sa ating lahat. Bakit nga ba nagiging makakalimutin ang mga mami pagkatapos manganak? Ito nga ba ay dahil sa anesthesia or may mas palalim pa na dahilan? I'm Police Major Maria Eliza Tahon, Medical Officer and OBGYN of PNP General Hospital. Sa araw na ito, pag-uusapan natin ang mommy brain phenomenon. Ang mommy brain phenomenon ay isang pangyayari na nagiging makakalimutin or nagiging lutang ang mga mami pagkatapos manganak. Usually, madali silang makalimot or mabagal ang pag-iisip nila o reaction sa isang pangyayari or minsan nawawala sila sa concentration or nawawala sila sa pinag-uusapan. Bakit ito nangyayari? The mommy brain phenomenon or postpartum brain fog ang ibang tawag nito is usually caused by hormonal changes, stress, kakulangan sa tulog, minsan sa pagiging multitasking ng mami. Sa hormonal changes, biglang pagbaba ng estrogen and progesterone na nagkakaapekto sa mood, memory, and focus ng mga nanay. Merong sinasabi sa mga studies na lumilit ang gray structure ng brain na nagkukos ng pagiging makakalimutin ng mga mommies. Sa kakulangan ng tulog or stress or multitasking, ito ay nagsasanhi ng decreased concentration and memory ng mga mami. Pag sinasabi kasi natin na postpartum, the postpartum period is usually considered until 3 months after delivery. No? 3 months after delivery, but in some studies, mommy brain phenomenon can exist 2 months to 4 months after delivery. To combat symptoms of mommy brain, kailangan lang pag-uukalan natin ng pansin yung mga causes ng mommy brain. So, ang correctable factors doon will be the stress. Dapat tanggalin yung stress ng mga mommy. Yung sa pagtulog, dapat tama ang pagtulog. Dapat healthy diet. And they should ask for help. Support from family is a great factor to help ease mommy brain phenomenon. So, mommy brain phenomenon is not something na dapat ikahiya ng mga mommy or families, no? It is for the reason that ang mommy is supposed focused sa pag-aalaga ng baby, na all aspects of the maternal instinct is related to the baby. Naturally, scientific-based na approaches sa brain, pagkapanganak, lumiliit yung gray matter and all hormones and nerves are directed dun sa focus sa baby. So, yung pagliliit ng gray matter sa brain is naturally or is a natural phenomenon para hindi ma-deviate yung focus ni mommy para sa ibang mga bagay. So it is just natural and it is not something to be ashamed of, and it will be recovered eventually. Red flag of mommy brain phenomenon is when It will affect your daily activities na sobrang makakalimutin na, and it will cause anxiety or depression. And if it will last for more than the postpartum period, which is around 2 to 4 months. Paalala lang po sa lahat, especially sa mga asawa or mga partners ng mga mommy, that mommy brain phenomenon is not something to be ashamed of. However, they need your support para maiwasan or maibsan yung stress na nangyayari during motherhood at magkakaroon ng healthy motherhood ang mommy and baby. Thank you for watching this video. Again, I'm Police Major Maria Eliza Tahon from PNP General Hospital, a medical officer and OBGYN.
Knowing the science behind this mommy brain phenomenon, naku talagang mas dapat nating pahalagahan ang ating brain health. Dahil it will not only benefit ourselves, pati na rin ang mga mahal natin sa buhay, kaya po ng ating mga anak. Kaya mga mommies, make sure to take good care of your brain. There you have it, mga kasangbahay. Naku, wag po natin kalimutang bigyang pansin ang ating brain health. Hindi po ito kagaya ng ibang organ na may extra. Dahil pag bumigay po ang ating utak, tamay lahat. Okay? So, salamat po sa inyong pagtutok sa amin ngayong umaga, mga kasambahay. Pero bago po tayo magtapos, pasalamatan muna natin ang ating mga health partners. Doctors on TV would like to thank Soc Sargent General Hospital. For inquiries, you may visit their website at www.sgh.doh.gov.ph. Salamat din po sa River Valley Eye Center and Specialty Clinics Incorporated. You may visit their website at www.rivervalleyecsc.com. Doctors on TV would also like to thank Tondo Medical Center, located at Honorio Lopez Boulevard, Balutondo, Manila. You may contact them at 0288659000. Healthcare within your reach. Thanks as well to Fidel Mundo Medical Center, located at 11 Banawe Street, Quezon City. For more information about their services, you may contact them at 02-871-20845. And of course, nais din po naming pasalamatan ang nakasama namin ngayong araw dito sa Makati Medical Center. Our big thanks for always accommodating us here. Thank you. Doctors on TV would also like to thank Makati Medical Director, Interim Co-President and CEO Dr. Saturnino P. Javier, the Chief Finance Officer, Interim Co-President and CEO Mr. Arnold C. Ocampo, the Senior Vice President Ms. Arlene Songco, Assistant Vice President Ms. Monica Reyes Dizon, the Unit Head Manager of Communications and Special Projects, Mr. Mark Fonelas. Thank you very much po sa inyo. At gusto ko din pong pasalamatan ng mga taong nagbigay ng inspirasyon at suporta sa aming public service. Kuya Daniel Razon, ako maraming salamat po sa inyong walang sawang dedikasyon sa tunay na public service. And to BMPI's General Manager, Mr. J. Eusebio. May you both be blessed with good health and continued success, as well as all the members of the Management Committee of the KDR Group of Companies. And hello sa aking kambal, kay Ian, kay Iya, hi, kay EJ, kay Norman, yung brother ko, kay Bea, and of course, kay Doc Alain, at sa mga pasyente po natin sa Barbaca Budil Health and Wellness Center. Also, binabati ko yung mga taga-Delicates Food Corporation, headed by Mr. and Mrs. Jonathan Mooney. Hi kay Tita, Letty Duarte, and kay Deng, and of course, Nanay and Tatay, I love and miss you both so much. And also, kung gusto niyo pong balikan mga kasambayan mga segments today o i-share sa mga kaibigan ninyong health conscious, pwede po, just visit our social media pages. You may check www.facebook.com/doctorsontv and hit the subscribe button on YouTube at www.youtube.com/@UNTV News and Rescue. Ako, para po lagi kayong una sa health info. At huwag niyo pong kalimutang tumutok ulit next Sunday, alas 9 ng umaga, so that's 9 a.m. dito lamang po sa UNTV. And of course, don't forget to like and follow my Facebook page. Just type Dr. Sara Barbaca Budil in the search box. Muli po, magandang umaga at maraming salamat sa inyong lahat na nakisama sa isa na namang makabuluhang talakayan tungkol sa kalusugan. Ako po si Dr. Sara Barbaca Budil at lagi pong paalala namin, let's make it a habit to learn about good health. Only here at Doctors on TV.
Doctors on TV would like to thank
Makati Medical Center, the hospital with the heart. Located at Amorsolo Street, Legazpi Village, Makati City. You may contact them at 632-8888-8999. Like and follow their Facebook page at I Am Makati Med, or you can visit their website at www.makatimed.net.ph. Lindesont Gas Corporation, located at 179 National Road, Landayan, San Pedro, Laguna, 4023. For inquiries, you may contact them at 02-8824-0867, 02-824-9360, or you can email them at lgcsalesco@gmail.com. Clinica Figura, located at Entrata Building, Philinvest, Alabang. You may contact them at 0917-317-7272. Barba Cabudil Health and Wellness Center, located at Unit 1531, Centuria Medical Makati, Century City, Makati. You may contact 0917-317-7272 for appointments and other inquiries about your health and wellness needs. Special thanks to Makati Medical Center, Dr. Saturnino P. Javier, Medical Director, Interim Co-President and CEO, Mr. Arnold C. Ocampo, Chief Finance Officer, Interim Co-President and CEO, Ms. Arlene L. Songko, Senior Vice President, Ms. Monica Reyes Dizon, Assistant Vice President, Mr. Mark Punelas, Makati Medical Center Unit Head Manager, Communications and Special Projects,